I'm back. I'm back, baby. I'm ready to roll with you guys. Ready to see what's going on. Ready to check out what Reddit's got for me. Reddit. Come on. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me tonight. Give me what you got, baby. So I want you to lay on some OC poetry for me tonight. So I know it's going to be good. I know this time you got my back. I got your back. We're going to just keep that positive vibe. Probably. And just get right into all the good stuff. Starting with the beautiful music. Hopefully it's not too long. Not too long. Okay, we could go with it. In tune with nothing. All right, let's see what we're in tune with. In cities cobbled, rivers bricked, meadows set, sunken concrete. In life there's music. Trepidation, heart, sweet shadows, nothing knows. Follow, frail bird, strength, winged in flight, each migratory tick of beak. Summer's sweet metronome, spring's phrase, fall's gentlest malaise. Winter's white end, broken thoughts. Forgive this weakest skull's sheltered mind, sense sways, swims, dreaming, sense reality, slipping sands, tied knots. Untied, loosed, time's fairest, spiraling, shake, eyelid, fluttering, bow, beg, send off ships, float tears, I am mind's wind, white sails, my dreams. I am self-ship, death won't forbid me. Recall, frail birds, frail friends, fluttering rainbow black wings, pinned. With bones so delicate, chatter your proof, odes, music most beautiful, most proved, uncomposed. To fair nature, proposed, spoken to, death-proof, married to the beautiful music. Adds verse to songs of birds, adds notes to insects' dalliance, adds wind to clouds' instruments. Willowed boughs, strong strings we are. Loved instruments eternally playing, joy in orchestra, conducted, not, given shape to sound skinned with thought, flesh, strange souls starbound, but gifted me without a sound, complaint. Outward we draw from this kind universe. I love you. I love you, man. Distance. I love you, space. I love you, death. I love you, hence. And then hypertext. Can you grieve even beauty fades away? I'm not sure if those are part of the poem or not. I think so. I think we have a lot of good stuff. Thank you, Reddit. Thank you, Reddit gods. This is very dense. The lines have a lot of caesura, a lot of commas, a lot of pause, a lot of interrupted stuff. There's not a lot of whole phrase. There's not a whole grammatical unit, whole sentence. The speaker of the poem or the language of the poem sounds like it's constantly interrupting itself with new ideas. It's kind of like a fever of one idea or sentiment or emotion occurring after another. Very kind of almost manic pace. It has this quatrain structure at first of 4 lines, chunks of 4 lines, but then that kind of falls apart. I'm not sure I'm ever really convinced that the poem lives in these quatrains. There's a lot of assonance in the poem. Cities cobbled, rivers bricked, meadows set, sunken concrete, in life there's music. I guess I'm not seeing that much assonance there, but I feel like it falls more into that phrase, malaise, in the second quatrain. I guess some word repetition, sense, swim, streaming, sense, reality, slipping, sand. So I guess that's more alliterative sonic quality than assonance. But generally speaking, we're seeing a Reddit poet who is deploying the tools of poetic construction. They're using these different aspects of language, assonance and alliteration, kind of embedded rhyme, internal rhyme, effectively. It's pretty dense, and the line endings seem almost arbitrary. So, there's probably possibility to optimize or revise. But, when you have something good going on, maybe you don't want to revise too much. So I'll concede I have my biases and my preferences. I like for a poem to declare clearly what it's trying to achieve and then pursue that objective. This clearly is not a poem that's going to want to do that. Cities cobbled, rivers bricked. I'm not sure what type of river would be bricked. I suppose there are those where, you basically... engineers have channeled the rivers, or they've put actual, they've made the banks of the river permanent, even if the bed itself isn't. But it's talking about this kind of human desire to fix, to put in concrete, to cobble, to brick. Versus musicality, I guess. I don't know. I can't really exactly follow the ideas of the poem yet. I mean, maybe if I spent some more time with it, I'm inclined to think the poem suggests to me that it has ideas. I'm not 100% sure I should trust that. But it does seem like it has genuine, real ideas and proposals buried in there. Summer sweet metronome. Okay, what is the metronome of summer? Does summer have more of a metronome than fall or winter or spring? And then spring's phrase. Okay, the poem moves very quickly, so it's more like observing wind across a lake, brisk wind, changing wind. So you see all these kind of dapples on the water. The language is changing. The ideas are changing frequently, but I'm not sure of the depth of the language yet and the depth of the meaning. But that can be worked with. I mean, that can be figured out, maybe. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is at least the writing here is interesting. And this poet, the writer of this poem, might have some practice or talent or what have you that they could eventually formulate. They're trying sincerely as well. There seems to be a sincerity to this poem, an earnestness, genuine effort being made, as opposed to a lot of these abortive poems we read on Reddit where they kind of go for a little while and then they just kind of crumple it up and chuck it and are really dismissive to their own goals. And this poem wants to follow through. It wants to stay with its energy. I mean, it sounds obvious, but I'd like to see a little bit more focus, a little bit more desire to stick with one idea and really see if you could follow through that idea to its end. But there's a lot of promising aspects here. So go down here and just take a pause and write some things up. All right. I think that looks pretty good. A little bit more than I usually write, but, a little bit more interesting than we usually see from Reddit. So leave that comment here, and we'll see who else is available. Dark Canyon. I think we've read some Dark Canyon before, but, you know, some of these Reddit names, start this, start that, yeah. Kind of all meshed together. So I'll read it to my true fans to figure out if we've read some Dark Canyon 1998. But I really do think we have. All right, Dark Canyon. Let's see what we got. My heart would melt at your gaze if it weren't frozen and cold. Oh, God. I'd welcome you into my walls if they weren't rotting with mold. Dark Canyon, you got to stop now. Please don't go on. Don't. No more. In each other we'd find domain if you weren't pure as a dove. Oh, Dark Canyon. I know you're going to say something about your soul, and you did. You'd break my soul from its chain. If only I could feel love. Okay, so Dark Canyon, you just shouldn't. Because I'm in this kind of good mood after the first poem, Dark Canyon, I am going to leave you a comment. But first, I'm going to read you your poem again as Batman. Because that's what it deserves. My heart would melt at your gaze if I weren't frozen and cold. I'd welcome you into my Batcave walls if they weren't rotting with bat mold. In each other we'd find domain stuff if you weren't pure as not a bat like me, but a dove. You break my soul from its chain of my dead parents. If only I could feel love. Okay. We'll just leave Dark Canyon a little bit of a note here. All right. Commented that one out. Should be good to go here. Let's see who we got next. Do we need to do a not safe for work? I mean, it's not like my channel isn't safe. Is safe for work. I mean, it's kind of not. I just feel like if you put not safe for work, you're pretty much just like advertising that your poem is just going to be bad. I mean, there could be like 1 in a million chance that you put not safe for work because like your poem genuinely is like, you know, kind of pornographic, but in an arty, kind of interesting, satisfying way. But let's face it, that's probably not what this is. So, yeah, exactly. It's not what this is. All right, let's do one more. Mother in My Own Duality. Whoa, that's badass. 527. A mother to my own duality, but is it going to be too long? It's kind of, I mean, it worries me, right? So we have this plus already worries me. Then we have these strophes kind of break into these long lines here. I'm not going to just say that it's automatically going to be bad, but it just looks like it's going to be amateurish. See what you do to me, Reddit? You see that? You know it's not going to be that good. You know it's just going to be, it's me plus me type ordeal where me wants me to just feel, but one me wants to feel. No. Snowball Fight House? Come on, man. It's all on you, Snowball Fight House. It's all on you. This is it. Don't mess this up, Snowball Fight House. I couldn't recognize my dog. This morning I woke up and couldn't recognize my dog. No adorable face, no little panting noises, no sparkly eyes. Why, Reddit? Only a blurry black mass, making vague noises of obligatory respiration, jumping up at me for no particular reason. My mind blank and broken, I embrace her anyway. My soul lays dormant, I am horrified. So let's try to reverse engineer what this poet wants to do with this poem. Maybe that would be fun. I don't know why dog is capitalized. Maybe they have a huge hangover, or they had a migraine, or they had a breakup, or I don't know. You could tell me they did a lot of drugs. And they wake up and they couldn't recognize their dog because they're, I don't know. They're only a blurry black mass. Black mass. With Batman. No, there's no Batman in this poem. Making vague noises of obligatory. See, here's the thing, guys. Like, poems have cadences, right? We earn the reader's respect with how we pace the poem. Making vague noises of obligatory respiration is a line that has so many polysyllables in it, has no deference to the tradition of things like, feet, syllables. It's just a big bag of prose springs, just like boing, 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 right in the middle of the poem. You could say, oh, well, that's by design because it's jumping at me for no particular reason. But no particular reason is so boring because we've heard that before. Things have reasons in poems. Otherwise, even if they appear to have no reason, they're deliberately structured to cause specific effects for the reader, for our imagination, for our ears, for our heart, for everything. We're supposed to be mechanics, technicians of the sacred. This is just my mind blank and broken. I embrace her anyway. My soul. So, guys, Reddit, listen to me. Don't use the word soul. Don't do it. Don't put it in your poem. Ever. Just don't. Don't do it. This poem could be worked. It is better than a lot of the poems we've read recently. This poem isn't completely, totally hopeless. It is an interesting conceit, meaning the premise of the poem that you wake up and you can't recognize your dog, but it's the same old dog. It's the same dog it's ever been, but there's something off with you, or something off with the world. That's interesting. Execute. Simplify. You can't put sparkly eyes. You need to do something better than that. You need to tell us how the dog was, how the dog usually is. Tell us about something that you did with your dog. The walks you go on, the sticks you throw, whatever it is. Tell us how it sheds. Tell us how it drools. Tell us the type of dog food you feed it. Give us some specifics and why things feel off. Show us. All right, so I will go ahead and leave a brief note here. All right, we're back. And that will do it, assuming I got all these technical things right with the audio and with the pausing stuff. If so, rock on, Chicago. Rock on, Reddit, and we will catch you next week. Thank you, guys. Thanks for putting yourself out there, Reddit, and jump on in on the comments.